Many autistic people are erroneously described as violent on account of their conduct during meltdowns. This is a fallacy. Violence implies the use of physical force intended to cause harm. Because autistic people are not in control during meltdown, they cannot be described as intending to cause harm. This doesn't condone their behaviour, of which harm to others is often a byproduct, but it hopefully, once and for all, deters people from morally judging or punishing an autistic child for behaviours beyond their control at a time they are most vulnerable and most in need of help and understanding. Many PDA people are described as manipulative. This is also a fallacy. Manipulation is to control or influence a person or situation cleverly or unscrupulously. As with before, when a PDA child is in meltdown and they, for example, threaten suicide, whilst this cannot be classified as a noble or admirable statement, it is not coming from a manipulative place. During meltdown or times of immense distress, PDA children are hardly capable of influencing anyone, and especially not in a clever or scrupulous way. What people might call a manipulative person is really just a person desperately trying to meet a need when all other forms of communication have failed. Desperate, anxiety-driven efforts to meet all-consuming needs are not clever or scrupulous methods of control or influence. Attention-seeking. I struggle to think of such a descriptive, clear and self-explanatory phrase more steeped in stigma than this one. People are encouraged to ignore the attention seekers, suggesting there is nothing more than a whinge or a trivial complaint. Actually, attention seeking is often the result of acknowledgement starvation. Such a person, for example, may be autistic and have never had their needs met all their life. Perhaps communicating their needs verbally has never been taken seriously. This doesn't make those unmet needs disappear. It means they find new ways of expressing themselves. I'm not just talking about children behaving flamboyantly in the playground. I'm talking about people who self-harm, for example. Oh, they're just doing that for attention. And, whilst for many self-harmers attention is not the goal, even if it is, if someone is that desperate for attention that they resort to harming themselves, is this not something that needs to be addressed as opposed to overlooked with disdain? Attention isn't a luxury or privilege, it's a psychological nutrient. People are more likely to take it for granted when their needs as a child were easy to meet and therefore not as complex. And finally, controlling. PDA people may be controlling, but not because we are power hungry, but because we are safety hungry. So long as we stigmatise behaviours that we view as not just socially unacceptable, but as socially inconvenient or annoying, we cannot get to the crux of the issue. However annoying, off-putting or socially unacceptable an autistic person's behaviour might be, beyond every heavy nebulous label they are branded with, manipulative, controlling, attention-seeking and violent, is a vulnerable, confused, frightened and misunderstood child whose needs need to be met, and not dismissed or burdened with insulting and cruel misnomers. Think about it. Instead of care, compassion and understanding, when it comes to the above patterns of behaviour, it is a lot of people's natural response to shower the person with judgment and dismissal. It is quite sick and callous when you think about it. These are areas of social normality worth challenging, the ingrained stigma and mischaracterizations of behaviours which echo from unmet needs.